So I was reading this comment today. I go on this newspaper, Daily Mail, just for fun, because it's like flame wars and stuff all the time. And I see an article about Bitcoin, and I'm just like, all right, well, this is interesting. Let's read it. And it says, like, Bitcoin's a scam, and that got me really curious about what the response and reaction to that would be. Because it was Jordan Belfort, you know, the guy was a well-known scam artist, and he's saying Bitcoin's a scam, and it's just going full out about the negatives of Bitcoin, right? Just everything. Then you go into the comment section, it's just like people are like, yeah, Bitcoin's a scam, Ponzi, it's going on for pages and pages and pages. And then one comment out of like 100 is like, you know, well, let's actually take a logical perspective at things and kind of examine why people think it's a scam and da-da-da-da-da. And he goes out and like lists the reasons for and against it, and it's like a really well-written comment. And then like, you look at the responses, people just aren't willing to listen, nor do they want to learn about this. Bitcoin is a scam. That's the first thing that runs through their heads. They see some crazy guy with a camera like me, just kind of like, I don't care, like whatever. I was like halfway finished shaving, and then I was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna record a video right now. My name is Michael Cabrera. Let's stay tuned for this one. Bitcoin's a scam, I guess. Like, this is news to me. I guess we were all duped. Oh, by the way, Bitcoin's at 18,500. New peak, all-time high, absolutely fantastic, approaching $600 billion market cap. Bitcoin isn't something I'm fully 100% into, like, yes, it's gonna hit $10 million, but I never ever went against it as in, it's a Ponzi, it's a scam, because under that perspective, everything's a scam. The banks are a scam, the government's a scam, everything. You are a scam, you're a Ponzi. Did you ever get that? Are Bitcoins convertible into tulips? I'd like a tulip or two for my place. They're better to look at than Bitcoins, and it is unclear because no one has explained it of what a wait, what? That's bad grammar, first of all. It was getting really poetic, and I was super excited to read that, but I'd rather tiptoe through the tulips. Well, that's fine. Listen, you can build 10 ginormous flower gardens if you just purchase Bitcoin today, guaranteed 100% returns. I'm just kidding. You don't have to buy Bitcoin, and that's cool. That's the thing with cryptocurrencies, okay? No one's forcing you to buy. No one. No one is. The people who are, well, they're not actually like part of Bitcoin. They're not supporting the movement because they're just making it look bad. And most likely they have ulterior motives. Which, by the way, Jordan Belfort, very smart man. He ran, you know, the Wolf of Wall Street pump and dump scheme back in the 90s, right? He made hundreds of millions of dollars out of pumping stocks. So if this guy made hundreds of millions of dollars out of pumping stocks that were unregulated at the time, do you think he might be interested in a cryptocurrency sector which still doesn't have much regulation? It's getting regulated as we go further and further along into this. But I think just slightly, he might have some behind the scenes stuff where he's trying to profit off of this, which makes you really think about it, okay? Because anybody who spreads FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt, which, you know, fear is everywhere in terms of speculation, whether it's cryptocurrencies, whether it's stocks, any area of business, right? Anybody who spreads FUD, that's perfectly fine. But most likely they have some motives, okay? Either it's a good motive or it's a bad motive. They're trying to warn their friends, their family. They don't want people to lose money. Or they're trying to gain something for a cheaper price so they can get it, they can stock up in it, they can hoard or hodl it, and then they can sell it for a nice profit while everybody else loses out, right? So the thing is, with Jordan Belfort, very smart guy, made a bunch of money. Always examine why someone's going out against something. In this case, there's a lot of money to be made. For example, you know, Mr. Jamie Dimon going out against Bitcoin and then a week later most likely purchasing it. Fantastic. Or maybe he had it before and was just stocking up on more. Jordan Belfort was involved with an interesting Australian scam, which, by the way, you guys should look into that. where pretty much he was working not directly with the government, but sort of, because he found a loophole that he's able to get more taxes and these weird fees out of like these farmers, these guys who didn't really understand what was going on, right? So he started working and advising companies and was driving around Porsche and made millions of dollars, and then he still has to pay back millions of dollars in restitution to the victims back in America, but wait, he's in Australia, so like, anyways, that's something you guys should think about, right? There's plenty of people who are out against Bitcoin. That's perfectly fine. Me, I'm not fully 100% confident in it. I'm skeptical, but I'm skeptical of many things. And there wasn't a point in time where I'm just like, aha, it's a scam, I'm never using it, bada bada bada. From the very beginning, I was like, this is an interesting concept. Maybe I didn't really believe in it fully because in 2013, I probably should have bought quite a bit, but you know, whatever, it is what it is. You can profit always more. Bitcoin, when it first came out, had low fees, it was fast, it was publicly traceable, still is. It's pseudonymous, the fact that it has a public blockchain. You're able to track everything on there. And thanks to that, the blockchain, decentralization, all of that started getting into the public eye, where now a bunch of companies want to use that technology to try and advance society. So for example, if a bank wants to put something onto the ledger and they're sending another transaction to a second bank and a third bank, all banks are able to see what happened within the past hour on the blockchain, right? Whereas before, maybe a paper was lost, oh no, we don't know what's going on, and it's fast. It's really, really fast compared to other payments. Maybe it is painful to try and get it adopted and everything getting into place. However, that's how it is with new early technology, and as we go further and further into this, most likely it's going to progress and get much easier and better and comfortable for the average Joe out there. Unlike tulips, there's a limited supply of Bitcoins, 21 million. Now, some of that was lost completely in space because people either died and their wallets won't be ever found, or you know, they lost their wallet, or they forgot the passwords, or whatever, right? So with a limited supply of anything, when people want to hold it, where there will never be a point where everybody's holding, because that's just silly. At that point, yeah, the price would go down, obviously. There's always going to be some speculation on anything, and the markets work by someone selling to another guy who's buying it, and then he in hope of selling it to another. With Bitcoin, since there's a limited supply, the more difficult it gets to mine more Bitcoins, the more the price will go up, as everyone wants it more and more and more, and the people who have it don't really want to sell as quickly. You don't have to invest in it, no one's forcing you into it, unlike Ponzi schemes where they try and refer as many people as possible to make more money because the people at the top are benefiting where more and more layers keep forming at the bottom. It's a nice traditional pyramid. So with this, if you're going to be comparing it to that, I mean, sure, okay, it's always nice to get advertising out there and more people involved in the project because there's more money and there's more interest. But if it does fall, well, there's plenty of other ventures and there's a lot of things that can be learned from it, where this, unlike a traditional scheme, would take a very long time to fall because a couple $100 billion isn't going to evaporate overnight. While tulips are a little bit more difficult to maintain. Anyways, my name is Michael Cabrera. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy this beautiful day. I mean, it's windy and there's no sun, but that's fine. Have a nice one. Peace.